His computer.
Hello, everybody. Here we are, and this is another interview from The Wonders of Life. And this time we are with Jessica Tumminello, an artist who draws incredible paintings and channels energies and light codes for people. And also, I think that she draws the messages and the animals that come to her with a message for everybody. Is that right?
Thank you. Hi, I'm very honored to be here, to be part of it.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much.
So, would you like to describe us what you do? What happens when you paint?
Okay, so it depends if I'm doing a commission, if I do it for somebody. If I do it for someone, then I usually ask if they know already what kind of spirit animal they have or which one they would like to have. Then if they already know that, then I usually ask for their picture, and then I do it digitally, so I have the picture in the same canvas that I draw it, so that the energy is always there of that person. Also, when I save all the different canvases, the different layers together, I merge that with their picture, so it's always together with their energy, basically. And while I do the painting, I get into a meditative state, and I try to just let the creativity come out and try to just follow my intuition. And then sometimes before I start, or during or after, I do a meditation as well, and I write down the message that I get via automatic writing. And then, yes, I write that down, and then I also share that with the person. And at the end, I also do the light code activation, which also, when I do the meditation, I get the kind of messages that these codes, for which these codes will help basically the person. And then these codes, as you know, activate on a DNA level, and it's supporting the person basically, as well with the spirit animal that's coming through. And sometimes when they don't know what kind of animal they have or which one they should choose, then I would also intuitively decide that while meditating, and just feel which animal wants to come out more strongly, basically. So that's kind of the process.
And would you like to elaborate a bit on the relationship between humans and spirit animals that you have found, discovered, or seen in your work or your experience?
Well, relationship, yeah. There are many kinds, well, we all have many kind of different animal totems or spirit guides, spirit guides that come throughout our lives. So some animals will be there during a certain time or period in our lives where we need those kind of attributes more. And then also we usually have 2 or 3, depending on the person, totem animal that is their lifelong. And usually people who feel really, really drawn to a certain type of animal usually have also a spiritual connection to that animal. And some people who can feel that connection is really, really deep, and they can connect with them on a spiritual level that gives them strength, basically. And of course, it depends also how strongly you connect to that animal as well, but they can help you a lot or give you a lot of support and courage and strength as well, or even wisdom sometimes if you need guidance. I mean, we can learn so much from animals, because they are very unconditional and loving, and that's the kind of vibration we strive to have. So that's like really helpful, basically, and I really admire their unconditional heart, and that's amazing, I think. And yes, many other things we can learn from them. So I just find it very inspiring.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And would you like to tell us like your experience with spirit animals, with animals, or the animal communication? Because I think it is very personal and very deep for each one of us.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, it's for me personally, I've always had a strong connection to cats. I really admire them and find them very beautiful and elegant. So I always wanted to have cats, and then later I was able to also get some cats. And on a spiritual level, it's a lot, in my case, it's a lot of intuitive communication in the sense of what I get emotionally from them. Also, when I meditate and try to connect to a spirit animal, then I do a lot of visualization as well, where I see them in front of me with my eyes closed. I see them, and then I have a place where I usually go to meet them. I created this place for myself where I kind of told the animal kingdom that this is the place where I want to meet them and where I want to converse with them, and that's the place where they can come to me if they want to talk to me, basically. So whenever I want to connect to an animal, I usually go to that place to kind of have a more of a dialogue, basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. For example, if you had to explain this process to a person that doesn't know, doesn't maybe a person from like
Yes.
our society, who has never heard of it, never heard of visualization and like creating places. To, what is it at the core? What you do? How do you do it? How can you do it?
How can I do it? How can I explain it to somebody, you mean, of what I do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because
Mhm.
I think what you do is very, very simple, something that we all know how to do.
Exactly. Yeah, we can all do that. Absolutely. And yeah, I think everybody who wants to connect more with the animals
Mm-hmm.
can they just first of all need to or want to have that intention, and then just listen to how they feel, to what thoughts they get when they look at an animal, and that's already the first steps of communicating with them, like not with words but just with images and emotions, basically. Or yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. But exactly as you said, everybody can do that. Everybody has the ability to do that. I absolutely agree.
And did you have some kind of first experience that is meaningful, that was meaningful for you in understanding this process and also allowing the natural things to happen?
Well, my first experiences were more through dreaming, where I was able to communicate with them via dreaming. But then that was when I was younger, so I just kind of took it as it's just a dream. But then later on, I realized that it's actually much more than a dream. And then I did a meditation of meeting your animal guide. And when I was doing that meditation, then I met my spirit guide, which is a dolphin, my animal
Hello?
spirit guide. It's a dolphin.
Dolphin.
Nice.
Yes, it was a dolphin. So that was pretty nice because I find them also very inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
dolphin are so great.
They have an
Yes.
incredible, pure, crystalline,
Exactly.
renewing energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's really amazing. And then later on, I realized that the younger one here, the cat, also has a dolphin connection. Yeah, so that was pretty. I didn't know that until later on, so that was pretty cool.
I didn't know that animals also had.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've experienced, but also from what I've read, is that animals also have previous lives, and
Oh.
one of her previous lives was also a dolphin. Also was a dolphin, basically.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So they also go through different cycles of life experiences, from my understanding. So that was interesting to
Yeah, it
see.
may explain some. I don't know. Sometimes happens to me that people say, "Ah, this cat seemed to be a dog." Or,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Totally. It can totally be that before she was a dog, or yeah, exactly. It's absolutely possible, right? So
Very
yeah, I
cool.
think so. Pretty interesting. But
Very, very
yeah.
interesting. So, you have a painting you did printed, right?
Yes.
Could you show it to us, please?
Yes, so this is the very first one I did. I hope you can see it. It's actually supposed to be a black panther, but I left it, I didn't really color it black, but it's a black panther. And
This
yeah,
one.
so this is the very first one I did. And
before that, you did not paint, or you did?
well, before that, I always I drew as a kid a lot, and I liked to color, but I never did something like that before. So that was this time, yeah, was my first time trying. And the way how I started it was last year I felt this really strong urge to do something creative, but I just didn't really know what. And this urge was really incredibly strong, but I tried too hard to figure that out. I should have just let it be, but I tried too hard, and then I just couldn't figure out what to do. And during that time, I was also learning a lot about light languages, and I started to kind of draw them as well, but just like a little bit here and there. And then when I moved back to Germany this year from South Korea, I had much more time because in Korea I was working every day and I didn't really have the head to really take my time and try something like that. And then in Germany, now that I'm here, I have more time. So then as soon as I kind of relaxed, it came somehow as well. So that was pretty interesting. Also took some interesting courses on how to be more intuitive in the sense of, trusting your intuition, learning more how to develop them. That also really helped me to follow this process, basically. Yeah.
Awesome. And so, what would you say to somebody who was interested in cultivating their own connection with their animal spirits or any other spirits, and wanted to create something to use light language and use I don't know, maybe painting or writing or anything? What would you?
I would suggest to just do it. It's like, of course, everybody has their own special way of expressing. And one very good example in my case was that I really love the work that Vashta does. Do you know Vashta? She
No.
does she does ET illustration, like she creates also ET images, and then she brings forth a message from them, and I was really, really inspired by that, and I wanted to do it the way she does it.
Vashta.
Vashta, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can give you later the link from her page, but I was really, really inspired by that, and I wanted to do it exactly how she does it. But that was the problem. Like, I had to find my own way of doing that and expressing that. So that's what I would recommend to everybody else, is if you find someone that you really like and how that person is doing it, then you have your own way of expressing yourself, which is also unique and what the world needs. We need a lot more different kinds of expressions instead of just one. And yeah, so of course it's kind of hard to first figure it out maybe, but that's also just blocking yourself thinking it is hard. It's more just like letting go of all the expectations you have for yourself, especially because we are our own biggest critics. So letting go of that, basically, if you can.
Thanks.
Is what I would say.
Thank you very much. It was really awesome. Now,
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
that compared to many people in the spirituality community, you are very down to earth. How do you see spirituality in your life?
Well, in my personal opinion, spirituality is very important to me, and it is always a part of me. However, when I, let's say, interact with people who don't understand that aspect, it is still very important to me to be able to talk and relate to them, and especially for them to relate to me. Otherwise, I'm just for them on cloud 7, and they have no way to interact with me properly. So that's why I try to still understand their perspective and try to just try to go to their wavelength to be able to communicate with them, but still I try to still stay in my own integrity without having to let's say compromise myself in a way. But that balance is of course not always easy, and I myself still am trying to find that balance in being able to relate to them, however not having to kind of step down to where not step down, but I mean to step away to who I am, basically. So it's not easy, and I'm still also myself trying to find that balance. But I think it's important that we're able to talk to other people and that they can talk to us without us sounding too out of this world for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also, everybody's different, so it's also okay if you wish to do that. It's just my opinion. So I'm not,
very, very interesting to put it like that, because I had not very often heard of somebody just that simply saying, yeah, I'm very spiritual and I care about, you know, having a relationship with people and about
because we are here to be a good example for other people. So I feel if they cannot relate to us, then we will be no example to them, and they won't be able to relate to us at all. So that's that, then, in my opinion, in a way, no? Yeah. But other people have other roles, so that's part. I see that as my role, and other people have their own roles. So
absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So, do you have any questions? Because she is drawing something.
Amazing! I'm curious to see what that is.
Will come later, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. For now, it's kind of a little dragon, probably.
Ooh, I love dragons. Oh, I love it. It's so cute.
Yeah, very sweet to be a dragon, especially.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. For sure.
I will
I like it.
finish later.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love. It's just the second time that I do that, but I love while I listen to people. I'm listening to the people writing, drawing something.
Yes, no, I like to do that too. Whenever I draw, I also listen to music or something inspirational, because it kind of, when you turn off your thoughts on when you draw, then it's somehow easier. You let it go, the drawing, and you just listen, but you still let your hand flow, basically.
Yeah.
So I like doing that too. So that's good.
So I wanted to know if you ever heard about messages from animals suggesting or explaining or trying to connect, trying to share way of playing between humans and animals.
The messages,
or not experience or whatever.
You mean what my experience is from communicating with their plane?
Also,
or also if you found any way that play can become like a bridge between our species, humans and animals.
Yeah, because I was thinking also most of the people maybe not interested in, I don't know, channeling or drawing, but maybe interested in playing.
Playing with animals.
Yes.
Playing other than, you mean more in the spiritual sense, playing, right? Communicating.
Yes, in a way that allow people to share more deeply,
right,
the feeling.
Just okay. Well, I think that by playing with the animals, or for example, if somebody loves horses and they love riding horses, then for me that's already a way of interacting with them on a spiritual level when you have that love. But with people who have no connections to animals, you mean more to, like, for those people? Or also, okay. I think for those people it's very hard, because they first need to have that desire. And I think anybody else, like people who have the desire to feel closer to the animals and to be more interactive with them, I think there's so many ways. Just alone, if you love dogs and you take your time and you go dog sitting, even dogs that aren't your own, that's already, for me, a way of channeling that love and connecting with them on a spiritual level. I think, like, everything that has this loving energy is, in my opinion, already like an interactive channeling as well. Thoughts they get while they go and walk their dog, that's already, I think, some information they get from the dog, even though they don't realize it. I think because we're all receiving constantly, and we always think it's our own thoughts, but often it is a way that we channel already. Because again, everybody can do that. We just don't realize it.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I think actually channeling is just the normal
exactly
of being.
I agree. Yes, absolutely.
It's thoughts, and then you have a new one, and this is channeled.
Exactly, that's already channeling. Absolutely, and I agree. If you walk a dog and you have many thoughts, even though they're super random at times, it could be from your dog or it could be from someone else, and you just think they're your own thoughts, but in reality, it doesn't have to be.
So, the funny part is that if you became aware, you can direct your antenna wherever you like, and maybe
Exactly.
the people that you love the most, or even the ones that you don't know. I don't know.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah.
I agree. It's about tuning in those channeling antennas, as you said. You just have to tune into the right station you want to channel properly. So that's something that we all just have to work on. That just takes consistency and time, but absolutely possible. And it absolutely is happening.
And the nice thing is that there is some scientists that are already bringing the necessary knowledge for understanding the brain as an antenna.
Yes.
And so yeah, we are near this new exciting discovering towards
exactly
and everything else.
So interesting. So interesting. I love when more of that comes out, and then more and more people will try doing that. That would be amazing. I agree. How is when you draw? What is your state of channeling?
Yeah, this listening to people is like being that person.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Yes.
And it's very relaxing because it's something that is very natural for me usually.
Yes.
But
Yes.
in normal life you have to be, I don't know, you just can't, because
Right.
You gotta be yourself.
yeah, because any situation, but or
No, I totally.
at least we are used to think that we can't. For
Yeah.
example, doctor, we are trained to put distances and distances, and
Yeah.
it's for me it's the opposite of what can spontaneous.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's very tiring, and then sometimes it's so beautiful to just be another person.
Yeah, just be out, stepping out and be somewhere. Yeah, I can totally imagine that. I mean, that is absolutely.
And then I met more than one spiritual coach or whatever that see this kind of thing like bad, and say, oh, you have to protect yourself, you have to your space, your, I don't know, that probably there is some meaning, but I don't know, I'm not sure. Probably it would be easy if we can just flow into one another.
I think we can. It's has a lot to do with our own, I would say, programming, but I don't think at all about channeling negative entities, because if you are in a high frequency state, there will be no negativity that wants to even be close to that. So I think if our intentions are clear and good, then I personally don't worry about that.
Yeah, and for me it's if you have something that is lower, let's say lower, you can't see it. That's
you cannot see it.
No, you can't see. If
you can, yes.
And you match with someone else that make you see them, you can, I don't know, you can see it, and it became something lighter, something higher. This is my view for now.
Yeah. If you can transform that, that is great.
Usually when you see,
yes,
transform, or you start transforming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Transforming, exactly. Yes. So you transform that into something higher.
Yeah.
And that's great if you do that. That's absolutely great. Transforming it.
For example, with animals, I think many people are maybe scared by, I don't know, bad animals.
Yeah, a lot.
Bad animals.
Yeah, because they symbolize more negative things, right? The bad.
I never get why.
Yeah, because you are very in tune with animals, or no?
Yeah, but
yeah,
but most, I don't know. I know many people that are scared, even
that are scared of bats.
Dogs.
Yeah, a lot.
yeah, so I think negativity is just a frame of mind way of thinking.
Yeah, I agree. It's a frame of mind and probably some kind of programming in the sense of they had maybe a bad experience or watching movies that show bats as something evil because they're connected to vampires often, right?
Yeah.
But actually bats are amazing animal totems. They're amazing. They're very, very spiritual, very like psychic kind of
So,
connection.
yeah, and
Yes.
also sharks, for example, they're so cool and powerful and deep and intense, and people like,
They're scared of them.
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I would be a little scared meeting
Yeah,
a
of
shark.
course, me too. But that's part of the experience, because that kind of intensity is, for us, it's powerful. I think it's normal to feel scared. The point is to use it to go to actually transform the part of you that is not mm, at ease with that kind of intensity, with that kind of energy, and then you can enjoy the experience, and then you can recognize, wow, it was so cool.
I agree. Yes, definitely.
There are animals with which it's easier to start, like
Yeah.
horses. It's very evident, it's very clear,
Yeah.
the feeling that you have in front of a horse.
Yes, yes. Horses are favorites of so many. They're just so beautiful. As a kid, I always loved horses. I always wanted to ride them, and I still love them. But as a kid, I was like crazy about horses.
Yeah.
I would always draw them, and as well, unicorns, always unicorns,
Yeah.
because they're so beautiful. So
Yeah,
I think, yeah, I think we get also very attracted to the beauty of some animals, like wild cats are so beautiful.
Yeah.
So even though they're just as scary as sharks, we don't find them as scary. We find them more beautiful than scary, because we're just optically so entranced by them. But yeah,
totally.
they're very, yeah. But yeah.
So, another question. If you had to say, what is like the essence of the messages you get? What comes up more than once, or what do you recognize as a connecting thread to the feelings that you get from the animal kingdom? Because in my experience, the animal kingdom in particular, in this moment, in this period, is getting closer and closer and closer to us, to humans. Like more and more reconnect, the connection is getting stronger again, and we are getting back to the animal kingdom. What do you think is happening energetically? What do you think they are telling us energetically?
In my opinion, because as you said, we're all getting to the point where we all have to raise our frequency and really get to that state where we can really merge with our essence, basically here in this world. It's very simple, basically, just having that really loving frequency, this unconditional love, basically, is where we all need to be, or yeah, really, it's a very high frequency of just peace, and also very empowering still, like feeling your own power and trusting yourself, basically, and being more artistically instead of just too rational about things. And yeah, basically raising our frequency. If we really want to be able to connect with them, we need to be in that state of mind and heart that lets go of all that pulls us down, like negativity, basically. And yeah, that's what I usually get.
Very, very good. Thank you very much.
Raising it.
And do you have any tips for people who would like to raise their vibration? Because I've seen it like hundreds of times. People that say, "Yeah, you have to raise your vibration," and I always, how can I raise my vibration?
How do I do that? Well, I personally, I love listening to Bashar. Do you know Bashar?
Yeah, of course.
He basically teaches follow your passion, and if you follow your passion or your excitement, you automatically will raise your frequency because you'll be in a good state of mind and heart. So I try to follow that. I try to follow, like, not just passion in the sense of I want to be a doctor, so I'm going to follow that, but small things that excites you, like, do I want to go out today and meet my friend, or do I want to stay at home? What gives me more excitement? And then I choose that, and that basically brings me already in a better state of mind. And that's already starting, or you already raise your vibration when you always follow your excitement, basically, in every small detail, not just the big goals and dreams, but every small thing you have you decide in your daily life. So that's what I try to follow from what Bashar says, and I really agree with that because it really helps us with everyday things.
Yeah.
So I find that very inspiring.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, I think I'm happy with it. Yes.
Okay, good.
I think we can end it here. We will definitely see each other. And
thank you.
Maybe if you want, we can do another interview or something like that. And you people, we are definitely have not seen the last of her. So thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. I'm very honored, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. And we'll definitely keep in touch.
Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. I will send you your butterfly dragon shortly.
Thank you. Yes, I want to see that. I'm very curious about that. So that's pretty exciting. Okay. Thank you so much.
Goodbye. Good night.
Good night. Sleep well, guys. Rest well. Ciao, buonanotte.
Buonanotte.